What is going on, guys? Troublesome here, and I'm back with another episode of Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. Working on a GollyWog mod today. I have the Mazda Cosmo 110S. I believe it's a 63, 64-ish era Mazda. Anyway, I already got the engine out. I'm going to put it back together on camera with you guys. Talk about rotary engines a little bit. Talk about the history of the Cosmo. And make this thing nice again. Let's go.
No.
Alrighty, boys. I pulled the engine, and this has the rotary engine that comes with the Mazda DLC. The Cosmo had the... I don't know if it was the first, but it was one of the very first production cars ever. Well, that's not a good start. One of the first production cars ever to have a rotary engine in it, known as the Wankel. The Wankel rotary, because it was designed by a guy named Felix Wankel from Germany. Man, I thought I had engine parts. I sure don't. Okay, so rotary engines, as opposed to the reciprocating piston style engine. Let me grab these spark plugs real quick. Let me grab a bunch of spark plugs real quick so I don't have to come back, yeah? Alright, rotary engine. So, whenever I did this, whenever this Mazda DLC came out, I did a video on RX-7 and kind of went over how rotary works, and I am going to summarize it again, though I'm not going to get into a tremendous amount of detail because I don't know a tremendous amount about it. So, in a typical engine, you have pistons that go up and down on a crankshaft that rotates, and each piston is connected with a connecting rod to that, and it goes in and out, up and down inside a cylinder. And when it gets to the top of that, stroke, it creates compression, and then there is fuel introduced and a spark, and it explodes. That explosion throws that cylinder, or that piston, back down that cylinder, rotating the crank. And then there's 8 of them, 6 of them, 8, 12, whatever V or I you have in a typical reciprocating engine. This is a rotary, Wankel. 1957-ish is when the guy came up with this, which this design is brilliant. And I thought, up until this idiot outside revving his engine, I thought up until today that this was actually a Japanese design, but it's not. It's German, which honestly doesn't surprise me because Germans are freaking incredible at engineering. Let's see. How do I examine mode? Maybe, I don't know. I need it to be without the. This will work. Yeah, I'll highlight parts. Okay, this is the combustion chamber. This is the combustion chamber. You have I'm not sure which is which, but you have an intake port and an exhaust port. Intake brings air in, let's just say this is the intake port. This will rotate around on this eccentric, I think is the word I'm looking for. Whatever it is, it's the crankshaft. This rotates on that. Like this section right here, this little triangular shape of the combustion chamber would come around and make a bigger gap right here, which is where the air comes in. Now, when this point here rotates back around, this compresses the air tightly up against these spark plug areas and creates a explosion, which pushes this down, opening this back up and jetting the exhaust out. All the while, on the back side of it, while that's happening, it's creating another combustion cycle going around. I hope that makes sense. It's real hard to explain this stuff without animation. I'm actually going to link to a video in the description that's an excellent animation with the exact same. It looks just like this, and it's a really beautiful representation of how the Wankel works. But I kind of hope it helped somebody, maybe help understand how the Wankel works and why it's so different and crazy revolutionary. So rotary engines, they use more fuel. They're tinier. Their fuel mileage isn't very good. Their longevity isn't as good, and they don't make much torque, but they're light. But they do make some serious RPMs, and they're smooth because there's no reciprocation going on. There's just this thing counterweights, this part of the crankshaft counterweights that rotor. So when it rotates, it's like it's not feeling any kind of unharmonic motion. It's like a spinning wheel that's balanced. So it's very effective at running smoothly, and they sound distinct. The sound is very distinct. It's very lawnmower-like. The thing about rotaries is you can wrap them out to like 9,500 RPM pretty safely, and they just kind of like it. Flywheel, got to get one of those. Keep forgetting. So the Cosmo was one of the first cars. From the way that I understand it, the car was never exported. It was Japanese exclusive. Now there are a couple of them in the United States now, but not a lot, and they don't get used. There are only 1,100, or they don't get used much, I would say. There's only 1,100 ever built in all, so kind of a rare beast. I'm not sure what they're worth nowadays, but this one in the junkyard was like 56,000, or no, was it an auction? I don't remember. I think it was an auction because it's not missing much, but it was in kind of rough condition, as you can see. But anyway, it's rad. The whole Wankel revolution is just kind of a rad concept. Look at that. See that? I wonder if that's where the coil goes in, because there's no wire coming off of that. Just notice that. I don't know if you guys are Mazda fans or not. I'm not like a big Mazda fanboy. I do think the rotary is super cool, and I think the RX-7, with its rotary, the whole movement of the RX-7 is pretty neat. I can tell you this. I owned a Protege 5, a Protege 5 wagon, which is like a sport compact wagon. It was like a 2002 or 3, and it had 70 horsepower, maybe 2-liter 4-cylinder, and it wasn't a screamer by any means. It was a 5-speed, but that thing was fun to drive because it was a very driver-oriented car. It was very connected to the driver. If you've ever driven a driver's car, quote unquote, you know what I mean. And Mazdas have a very good reputation for being really well connected to the driver. I believe it's one of the reasons the Mazda Miata is such a huge hit is because it's such a driver's car. People just drive them and fall in love with it because it's such a connected car. And Mazda just has that part figured out. The steering feedback it's precise and it's sexy. I don't know. Now, I don't know if a 1964 Cosmo has the same effect on people, but I do know that more modern Mazdas do have that. And I'm not entirely sure. Wait. Haven't played this game for a while, but I forgot how to get the engine off. Oh, yeah. Okay, so here is the body. This thing had these hood-mounted, fender-mounted, if you will, mirrors, which I think is cool, and I kind of wish car manufacturers still did that, but they don't. So, I'm slacking off on my uploading, and I kind of, if you watch this channel, you kind of probably already know why, but oh man, that's cool. That's neat. Mazda. So I've been slacking off. Actually, I'm going to talk about body design for a little bit. This thing looks very much like a Thunderbird, a 50s Thunderbird from the back, and very Alfa Romeo-ish from the front. Aston Martin, sort of. Isn't that odd? Isn't that an odd combination that makes such a cool looking car? So anyway, I'm slacking off on my uploads. I was getting burnt out, and I felt like I wanted to put. I felt like I wasn't putting out the content that I wanted to put out, quality wise. So I've been doing quite a bit of researching on, video editing and just learning new techniques and things like that. So every video for the last few I've uploaded, I've added new things, and some of it I'm going to tweak on, some of it I'm going to make better, some of it is what it is, but I just want to be better. I want to put out better quality content instead of mass content, because I think there's something to be said about that. I don't know how some of these guys put out videos every day and keep them good, but they do. Whoops. They do, I just don't know how they do it. They obviously have some sort of a talent that I don't. But it was nice today to get back into Car Mechanic Simulator, because I hadn't played it in a couple of weeks, and that was nice. I kind of remember why I enjoy this game, instead of feeling like it was this ritualistic personal ass whipping that I had to give myself every day to get on here and make a video. Alright, so all that being said, you will probably be seeing some new editing techniques in this. If this is your first time, stick around. You'll see some different editing stuff going on. And I know some people don't really care about the editing, but that's half of the fun for me, is not only doing, a little bit of educational bit with this whole deal, but providing something that is entertaining to watch in a land of human beings that have an average attention span of 8 seconds. That is actually a fact. We are so driven on instant gratification, it's hard to keep our attention as human beings anymore. So, kind of tweaking on editing and approach and format and things like that is part of the fun of doing this. And if you don't like it, suck it. Go away. I don't give a shit. Oh, guys, there's a new farming simulator game coming out. Actually, it's out. It's out. Apparently, it was a Kickstarter, which, that's something I'm going to have to connect with, is get hooked up on Kickstarter and actually start watching developers on Kickstarter, because I've seen some pretty rad stuff come out of there lately, and I didn't even know it was coming. It was like a freaking curveball. But anyway, it is a farming simulator game, and it is called Cattle... what's it called? Cornfields and Cattle, or something like that. I don't remember. Anyway, it's on Steam. It's $40, early access. It's a little bit buggy from videos I've watched so far. It's not fully optimized or anything like that, but it's cool. It's cool. It's got Earth models, like real soft model physics for the dirt. So, like, if it is rainy, it is possible to get your tractor stuck. It's not just texture overs like Farming Simulator was, which Farming Simulator is an awesome game. Won't take anything away from it, but this one looks like they're covering things that Farming Simulator was missing. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I know it's early access, and, sometimes that stuff stays in early access and stays buggy and never really gets tweaked out. But the physics on it look good. The graphics look as good, if not better, than Farming Simulator 2017. Giant just announced Farming Simulator 2019 is in the works, so maybe they're going to add, maybe they're going to step up their game. I don't know. I honestly can't even believe farming simulators are a thing, and I, more surprisingly, can't believe that I enjoy them. But I do. Farming simulator games are freaking entertaining for me. If you watch my Spend Towers video, you'll know that I have been wheel shopping. Kind of decided on a T300. I still haven't got my refund for that Logitech that I bought that was broke. So I'm not buying anything for the time being. But according to eBay, they have until the 22nd of February to get me my money. We'll just see. We'll just see what happens, eBay will take care of me. I'm not worried about that. eBay's never done me wrong as far as that goes. I worry more about the other people who have dealt with this company that, you know, haven't sent it back or just took it as it was, and, you know, stuff like that. Just, I don't know. Hopefully they'll be good. Hopefully they'll make good on it. I know they received it because I tracked the crap out of it on its way back to Chicago. Okay. That's a beautiful Bliney Shack car. I mean, a shiny black car. Let's grab some interior. And what else do we need? We probably are going to need tires. I do not know what was on it. I'm going to wing it here. I'm going to wing it hard. I'm going to go with 16 sounds pretty good. They were pretty skinny. It'll be a 185 70. Winging it. Wheels, it has this flat, one of these flatty classic thing looks on it. I'm going to see, isn't there a Mazda wheel that's a little Mazda ear? That's not an RX-7 wheel. Mazda. Is that it? Ugh. Jeez. God, I'm gonna regret that purchase. Let's put a spoked wheel on it. RX-3 steering wheel. Maybe a couple RX-3 seats. I don't know. That might have to change. And I can't put the spokes on it. I changed my mind. I can't do it. I just can't. I have to put this on it. Because this is more like what came with it. Oh man, I tried to jump off, but I couldn't jump off. I think that size will fit nicely. Okay, last one. Let's put this sexy body back together. What color should I go with? I'm seeing pictures of a lot of like white and silver ones, and I kind of like that. I kind of think I might go with a silver. License plate. Ooh, Spain. Does it have a front license plate? I don't remember seeing one. It does. Ooh, it's got some more bits down there too. Oh, the grill. Oh, drunky drunk. Can't even... Nope. Oh, Lord. Back. On there. Indiana. There we go. There we go. Party fargin' cool. Not what I meant to do. Normal mode. Interior assembly. He did not have what did he have in here? He did have RX-3 seats in here. Perfect. Perfect. And he had an RX-3 steering wheel. Double perfect. Perfect. Oh, ooh, ee. Okay, I'm going to do a little time lapse right. Coming up. Doing a suspension. Ready to go. Alright guys, this is a jump cut because I just did a time lapse and forgot to turn the mic back on after the time lapse, so I said a bunch of stuff and it got removed. So I'm wrapping up the video. This is the end. This is the color I chose, and this is the Mazda Cosmo 110S. And I'm not sure if you noticed, but I did. I put old brake drums on here, 93 and 97%, so I'm not at 100%. This thing's 83,000 as it sits. But post comment if you saw me do that like a jackass. So appreciate you guys hanging out with me. If you want to see more Car Mechanic Simulator, hit that subscribe button, will you? I'm gonna sign off for today. I will talk to you guys next time.
No.